Hi, my name is Dee, and I moved 10,000 miles from my home in Southern California to Africa, Zanzibar to be exact, leaving behind my family, my six-figure business, and everything I know and love. And I'm going to talk to you and tell you 6 reasons why I did that. So if this is something that you're interested in hearing about, come right on in and welcome to my channel, Life Abroad with Dee. So we're going to start with reason number one. I got my handy dandy notes here. So number one reason why I moved from Southern California, leaving behind a six-figure business, my family, and everything I know as a single Black woman in America is because of quality of life. Quality of life while living in Southern California, we had great weather, but I really didn't feel as safe anymore living in the United States. And here in Zanzibar, which is located in Tanzania in East Africa, everything is very peaceful. It's very safe. They actually have a woman president in Tanzania, which we haven't achieved in the United States of America as of yet. Also, the culture here is very safe. People don't even lock their doors here. Like, it's very rare that you have people who lock their doors here because everything is so safe. Also, I love the pole lifestyle, which means slowly. So that means take a breath of fresh air, smell the roses, drink some tea, drink some spiced tea, just relax, gain a peace of mind. Another reason is because I am from a beach town. I am from Southern California, where I'm used to really good weather and beaches, and they have even better beaches here in Zanzibar. The water is warm, the sand is white. Unlike in Southern California, where I'm from, we don't have that. Last but not least, for reason number one, contrary to the narrative that is usually spilled from the West about Africa, there is an abundance. There's an abundance here in Zanzibar. There's an abundance of land. So people here from Zanzibar own their land. They built their homes. They're not, homeless or struggling in the streets like, where I come from. Also, there's an abundance of food. There are trees everywhere. And as you guys follow me on this channel, you will see me eating a lot of fresh fruits. Every piece of land has banana trees, avocados, mangoes, coconuts, you name it, they have it. So contrary to what we're told in the West, there is an abundance here in Africa, especially in Zanzibar. Reason number two, my mental health. My mental health was suffering in the West. I'm going to be very honest. I'm actually planning to be very transparent on this channel. So if you are a woman who is like me, who has been a business owner, a founder, a CEO, or you've worked in corporate America, or you just have a job, you work 9 to 5, you may have children, or you may have a family, you tend to have a lot of stress. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of stress. And so for me, it was going from corporate 9 to 5. Then I started a business that became a multi six-figure business. And there was a lot of pressure, a lot of hustle, a lot of always making more money. Everything was about making more money. It was really the rat race, even though they say once you start a business and become a business owner, you get out of the rat race. But honestly, it felt like even more of the rat race for me. So my mental health was suffering, and I started to experience burnout, similar to when I was at my 9 to 5 job and I used to work 15, 16 hours a day and work on the weekends 7 days a week. It's even more when you are a startup business, meaning you've been in business 5 years or less. You work 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. There is no off button. And I was really struggling from burnout. So if you can relate to that, please let me know down in the comments. Please let me know. I want to build this community of a safe space of women who and others who we can comfortably talk about the things that we truly experience, especially on the internet. We never talk about the struggles of entrepreneurship or starting a business. Everything is freedom and lifestyle, but there is another side to it. So I'll get more into that later. However, I started suffering burnout. Next is the lower cost of living here in Zanzibar. And like I said, the pole culture, the peaceful, slow culture allows me to focus on my wellness, unlike at home. So here I wake up in the mornings, I come out to this rooftop. As you can see, I'm at the top of my condo and I just breathe. I just take in the fresh air. I pray. I breathe. I can focus more on how am I feeling, my mental, my physical wellness, my emotional wellness. Next, also, I'm allowed to focus on self-care. So when I lived in the United States, even though I had the money, I never had the time to get my nails done, as you can see. Rarely got my hair done, rarely got massages, rarely did the things that allowed me to pour back into myself. I was so busy taking care of my clients, taking care of, different family members, that I was unable to pour into myself. So a lot of you guys may actually, you may actually reconcile with that. You may actually relate to that. That's the word I was looking for. You may actually relate to that. So reason number 3, I moved here to Zanzibar, which again is in Tanzania, which is in East Africa, because there is an abundance of opportunity and growth currently going on all over the entire continent in Africa. But we hear a lot about West Africa in the Western, United States, but you rarely hear about East Africa, which East Africa is where I'm currently at, and there is so much development. And my neighbor, which is Kenya, they have the Silicon Savannah. There's Microsoft is in Kenya, so there's so much growth and opportunity going on in East Africa, just like in West Africa, but you don't hear about East Africa a lot. There's a lot going on here. So it's a developing country, right? So there's so much here that doesn't exist like we have in the West. So there's a lot of opportunity to build things, to start things that you may be familiar with in the West that we don't have here in East Africa. Also, you have the opportunity to buy land, to buy homes, to build homes, to build businesses. There's a lot that you can do here right now. There's so much opportunity, and that was a big reason for me, because even though I wanted to focus on wellness and wealth, and that is my new mantra, I am still a business person. I still believe in financial freedom. I go by financially free D on the internet. I believe in that. That's my whole life. So opportunity, being able to create generational wealth in a better way is alluring to me. All right. Reason number 4, one of the biggest reasons why most people are moving here, and why, if you are watching in the West and you're paying $3,000 rent, $3,500 rent, like those of us in California, you have $6 gas, eggs are $9, $10, $11, so on and so forth, you would be absolutely amazed at the cost of living here in Africa, specifically in Zanzibar. So that was my reason number 4. It was very, very important to know that you can buy property here for $50,000. You can build mini mansions for $200,000 USD. Also, the food, literally, I eat fresh food. So fresh fish that comes out of the ocean. The fishermen go fish in the morning. Fresh fruit off the trees from the farms, no process, no GMO. And I literally spend $100 on food per month. And I'm eating seafood. I'm eating lobster, shrimp. I'm eating fresh fruits, or what we call organic in the US. Everything from bananas to mangoes to watermelon, you name it, apples, $100 per month. Also, I have a personal chef, which is something I could not afford in the United States. Well, I won't say I couldn't afford it, but I did not prioritize it because of the expense. But here, I have a personal chef that costs me less than what people spend on groceries weekly in the United States. And I literally have her cook me 2 to 3 meals per day. Next, I also have a driver, because if you don't know, the roads are rough in Africa, especially in Zanzibar. So I prefer, and I'm more comfortable with having someone drive me around that is familiar with the terrain here. So very important for me, I have a driver, which again, I had to drive myself around in America. Honestly, I have a driver for less than what people spend on their car notes. You guys can hear those birds chirping. This is why I moved to Zanzibar. It's beautiful. All right, let me speed this thing up. Also, the dollar versus the shilling. So the currency here in Zanzibar is Tanzanian shillings. And you guys know I'm from America, so USD, the US dollar. So you get between 2,600 and 2,700 shillings for 1 US dollar. I repeat, 20 between 2,600 and 2,700 Tanzanian shillings for 1 US dollar. All right. And then entertainment, I've been going to really fancy restaurants because I just been splurging since I've been here. I just wanted to kind of just relax and regroup and do what I haven't been able to do, which is pour back into myself in over 5 years. So what would normally cost us a seafood dinner, 3-course meal with drinks and stuff would probably be $120 in the United States. $150 in the United States. You're spending $25 to $30 here in Zanzibar, which is absolutely amazing. So the cost of living, you cannot beat it. So reason number 5. So my love for travel and for new cultural experiences, and just I love to explore. I love the feeling of going to a new place, being out with the locals, trying the foods, the music. I am a full holistic travel type of person. And I've been traveling the world since I was about 18 or 19 years old. I've actually been to 4 of the 7 continents in the world. And so coming here is really, really, really was my first time coming to Africa, to be honest with you. And they speak Swahili here, which is very different from English, but we are so alike. The foods, if you are a Black American, a lot of the foods, they have different names, but they're similar. The way they cook, just but the culture is rich, and you see trees and things that are thousands and thousands and thousands of years old here. So it was really number 5 on my list. Also, I previously spent a lot of time in the Caribbean. I kind of lived there briefly. And Zanzibar is very similar to Caribbean culture, except for more conservative, which some people may not like, but I love it. I actually love it because it's not like other places that may have, religious influence where they monitor what you wear and all of those things. You can get in trouble for cursing, or, they have alcohol here. Like, it is a more conservative Caribbean type of place. Like I said, this is an island. It's an archipelago made up of a whole bunch of different islands. And so, as you can see, the beach is right behind me, right there. You see the sun setting. I can walk right to the beach. There's sand. There is a certain way of being. And I love Caribbean culture. I love island culture. So this is why Zanzibar was it for me. Beautiful weather. It's beautiful. It's the evening time here. As you can see, I have a tank top and shorts on. All right. So before I get into it, I want to say you get the best of the both worlds. You really do get the best of both worlds. You get to experience Africa and everything Africa has to offer, the safaris, the animals, the culture, everything that was taken away from Black Americans. You get to see here, but you still get the culture of island laid back. It's not rough here. So for me, it's the best of both worlds. And last but not least, drum roll, reason number 6 of why I moved 10,000 miles away from my family. I have no family here as a single Black woman to Zanzibar, which is in Tanzania, East Africa, is because overall, what Africa has to offer. So we have heard a lot of propaganda. We've heard a lot of narratives about what Africa is and what it's not, and, negative things mostly. But what Africa really has to offer is the oldest living things on the planet. I mean, from trees to animals to people. The oldest living things in the world to date are here in Africa. So if I'm a person who wants to live a long life, then I'm coming to Africa. So I can get this sun, get this vitamin D, get the nutrients, and, be in the environment that allows me to live a long, beautiful life. Also, the natural resources. So you may not know, Tanzanite is actually the rarest gem. They talk a lot about diamonds and things. And Tanzanite is actually found in Tanzania, which is here. But they also have ivory. But for me, I'm not concerned with the gemstones. I'm concerned with the spices. Zanzibar is called Spice Island. And here they have cloves and they have vanilla and cinnamon in its truest, purest form. And these different spices and herbs have been known to cure diseases and all kinds of things. And I will honestly give you guys future information about that later. They also have sea moss. Look up the benefits of sea moss. Sea moss is made here. You can literally see the ladies harvesting the sea moss by the beach. So for me, if I'm focused on wealth and wellness, then Africa is where I need to be, because I can literally walk down the pathway and grab an herb, grab the things that I need to fuel my body to get my health back together. Next, also, there is a growing economy. The population here is growing exponentially. So what does growth mean? That means that you are essentially building equity in a place that is going to give you a huge return on your investment, which I'm not going to make this a financial talk, even though I am financially free and finances is a big part of my life. Before even I was an entrepreneur, I was a financial analyst at the largest privately held company in the world. So excuse me if I start talking about finances, but let's just say this: there is an abundance of development, and the same people that are telling you not to come to Africa are the ones building right under your noses. Okay. Also, there's very, very, very good people here. Very, very, very good people. Very nice, very welcoming, very loving. They just want peace and harmony. There's not a fight here. It's really peace and harmony. The people who are indigenous to Tanzania, specifically Zanzibar, are good-hearted people, and they just want to relax. They just want to have peace, and they just want to have love. And so the closest people here to me are actually people who I've met since I've been coming back and forth, and they've really become like family, and they are local people. And lastly, Zanzibar specifically is centrally located in a trade center or a corridor that is Kenya, which, as I told you all, is Silicon Savannah. So they're doing things in Kenya, robotics and all kinds of things that I won't jump into. Literally 5 hours away on a plane is Dubai. You all know about Dubai. Everybody's heard about the growth of Dubai and the opulence of Dubai. And then another 5 hours south is South America. Not South America, South Africa. Excuse me, South Africa. If you know anything about Africa, you probably have heard about South Africa. So it is a great, Qatar is right there, 5-6 hours away, which is another beautiful place that I just visited. So this is the perfect location to do a lot of international and global trade. So for me, Africa itself is centrally located. It is centrally located to easily be able to travel to China, to easily be able to travel to Europe, to easily be able to travel all over the globe. So Asia, not just China, Asia as a whole. So there is a lot of reasons why I moved to Zanzibar, but specifically these top 6 reasons, as I just explained to you, I was willing to give up a multi-6-figure business that has made me 6 figures every single year since its inception. I gave it up. It was on the trajectory to making $2.5 million to move to this place, because I felt like what I was going to get here was worth more than the money I was leaving behind. Not just the money, but my entire family is in Southern California. I'm not of Zanzibarian descent, so it's not as if I have family here, and I am a single woman. I don't have any children. I'm not married, and I came here and I took a leap of faith. So if this interests you, if you want to follow me on my journey of literally rebuilding from zero, I'm rebuilding from scratch here. I'm not doing my same business. I don't know that I may do it, again, but do it differently. I have other projects in the works that we will talk more. You guys will see more about it in the future. But if this interests you, if you are interested in what it's like to really live and do business, build wealth, build community here in Africa, specifically in Zanzibar, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit that like button, turn on the notification bell, drop the comments down below. If you need a break, sis, say break. Or if you are interested in what it's like to really move to Africa, put Africa in the comment section, or just let me know, can you relate to the burnout? Can you relate to wanting to live in a better place? And with all of that being said, I am signing off. Welcome to Life Abroad with D, and I'll see you guys in the next one.